Hello, hello. What's going on? This is Colin Brown here from GetInBolden.com. And hey, I have something for you today. This is another edition of Wise Word Wednesdays. And today we're going to be talking about the three most common credit mistakes that you need to avoid. All right, you need to avoid these at all costs. So make sure you stay all the way to the end because there's a lot of information that I need to get through in order for you to get all the points and know what's going on. And just real quick, if you don't know who I am, my name is Colin Brown. I own the credit restoration company Embolden Solutions LLC. I'm the founder, and it's a company where we help restore hundreds of our clients' credit and give them the credit education they need to see the word approved and get into the dream home, dream car, or whatever the case is. So let's jump right into it though. Enough of all that, man. I just want to let y'all know. Let's jump straight into it. All right. So the three most common credit mistakes. When it comes to credit, there's so many different things that we just don't know about credit, and that's the reason that we make the mistakes that we do. Because this information is not taught in school, and really not a lot of people even know it. It's not common. So it's very common to make these mistakes. It's very common not to know exactly what to do. So don't feel bad if you don't know these things, but I'm telling you because these are three things that I really didn't do at first. So I want to share it with you. So let's just jump right on in. Number one is not checking your credit report. I know my handwriting is great, y'all. Don't have to tell me. I already know. So, not checking your credit report. So, credit is health, okay? Credit is health. So, you have to think about it like that. Now, when it comes to your health, would you have, something going on with your body and you not check it? Even if it was your car, would you have something going on with your car and you not check it? You're going to check it, right? So that's the same thing you want to do with your credit. A lot of people, they don't know what's going on with their credit report. They really don't know if they have bad credit. They don't know if they have good credit. They just know they have credit or whatever the case is. So you need to check your credit report. And welcome to everybody that's joined. Hello, mother. Hey, nephew. Love you, KJ. Hey, Z. Hey, Marcus. Hey, Miss Patterson. How y'all doing? Talk to me. If y'all can hear me, I want to make sure that y'all can hear me. Just give me a not a thumbs up. It's not YouTube. It's going on YouTube. It's not YouTube though. A like or a wow, just so I can know that y'all can hear me. Make sure I'm not just talking to myself, man. Give me something. I need to know y'all on here and y'all can hear me. But back to it. Let's jump straight back into it. So again, if something going on with your body, you would go check it, right? Right? So that's the same thing you want to think about with your credits. Again, no, like so many people do not think of it like this. They don't know what's going on with their credit report. You don't have to be a credit expert to at least go and see what's going on. It's better to have someone that is an expert that's been doing it for a long time, that's processed hundreds of clients, looked at hundreds of credit reports. But even so, you need to do something about it if you don't know what's going on. If you can't remember the last time you looked at your credit reports, and no, I'm not just saying credit scores, because your credit score and your credit report are two completely different things. So if you don't know what's on your actual credit report, you need to change that. And that's one common mistake. A lot of people don't know what's going on. So when it's time to see if you're about to get approved for a home, a car, whatever the case is, you don't even know if you're going to get approved or not because you don't know what's going on with your credit. You don't know if you have collections on there. You don't know if you have repossession on there. You kind of wing it. I think that thing went on there. I think that car went. I'm not sure because you haven't looked. That's a dangerous thing to do. You want to know what's going on. One way to do it, you can actually order a free credit report from annualcreditreport.com, and you can go on there and they will actually send you a free credit report. Now, for free, they won't give you, and when I say they, I'm talking about the credit bureaus, the 3 credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. So they won't give you your credit score for free, but they will give you your credit report for free. And at least you'll know what's on there and what's going on, what's reporting, what's not reporting. So you'll have a better idea at least. Now, again, it's better to have an expert go and do it, but if you're not going to do that, at least look at it yourself. Know what's going on, man. At least know what's going on. Again, you don't want to be winging it. When it's time to actually get approved for something, you don't want to just not know what's going on at all. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? That makes sense. Y'all let me know now. Let me know. I want to be on here just talking to myself. Y'all talk to me. Let me know. So again, that's the number one common mistake that I see. People not knowing what's on their report because they haven't checked it. They don't know the last time they checked their credit reports, and they're just going by Credit Karma. Look, Credit Karma, I don't recommend Credit Karma at all, but if you're doing that for a free option just to see what your score is, okay, but that's not a proper breakdown of what's actually on your credit report, okay? That's 2 completely different things as well. That's showing you a Vantage score, a Vantage credit score. You can look at your accounts and everything, but that isn't a fluid system. That's why it's free. You know what I mean? And there are paid services that you can use that shows your credit reports. I have 2 or 3 of them because I like knowing what's going on. I like to know if I'm getting, if something hit my report. If it hit my report, it's by accident. But still, I need to know this stuff. I don't want to look down the road and I'm trying to apply for something, a loan, whatever the case is, and then they say, hey, you didn't know you had this medical collection on here, you had this T-Mobile, whatever the case, Comcast, Spectrum, you had this bill on here. I don't need to be hit with that, so I need to know what's going on. So I use a paid service. But again, even if you'll use a paid service, go get your free credit report, analyze that, and look at it. And you only get 1 a year. Again, that's why it's called annual credit report. But still, it's better than nothing, guys. We need to know what's going on, okay? Perfect. So that's number 1. Number 2, and this barely look like a 1, y'all. Hey, that's a 1 though, I promise. So number 2 is not knowing your due dates. All right. So number 2, not knowing your due dates. All right. I know when it comes to bills, who likes paying bills, okay? I don't know anybody say, hey, I got out of bed this morning. I get to take this money out of my account. I'm happy. Hey, I understand. Nobody likes paying bills. I see if you're investing in yourself. I love investing into myself. I don't care how much money it takes. If I'm investing into myself in some type of form or fashion where I'm actually bettering myself or my family, whatever the case is. But when it comes to just bills, light bill and all that, I mean, nobody likes paying this stuff. I get it. But you need to know when your bills are coming out of your account. And specifically, you need to know if you have credit cards or student loans, car loans, you need to know that exact date, okay? And you need to keep up with it, especially with your credit cards, okay? Let me tell you a little bit about loans. When you have, again, credit cards, any type of personal loans, student loans, car loans, what we call installment accounts, and then credit cards are what we call revolving accounts. You need to know these dates. And let me tell you why. It's a trickle-down effect. If you don't know your exact date that your payment is due, then you are much more likely to be late, because if you are failing to plan, you are planning to fail. All right. So now, if you don't know, again, if you don't know the due date, then you're much more likely to increase the rate that you're going to pay late. And once you pay late, it's going to bomb your credit score. Okay. A lot of times you can lose like 100+ points in one sitting. Okay. In one sitting. I'm not talking about food here. And just one, mishap, one missed payment can drop you down 100+ points depending on where you at. And it could be even worse. I'm telling you from experience, it's happened to me. I'm not talking about something I think. I'm talking about something I know. I'm telling you. So it's very dangerous not to know exactly when your bills are due, specifically your credit card bills. This is information you need to know. Let me tell you one thing that you can do. Something I did like 3-4 years ago that's been working great for me. I know most of you have iPhones. You got whatever type of phone you have, doesn't matter. Android based. Look, both of them, they have a calendar. You need to have every single bill, everything that you have to pay, it needs to be in your calendar on your phone. So you go in there and you can set alarms. And obviously you have mortgage and rent, that's due around the 1st. You get, depending on where you at, you get leeway to the 3rd or whatever the case is, or 5th. But we know you got that due, but you still, I have that in my phone either way. So put that in your phone. The other bills you have, put that in your phone. Your credit cards, put that in your phone. So that way you'll get the alerts. You can set several alerts. So you'll know, okay, tomorrow I got this coming out, and you'll get used to the date. So that way you're less likely to have a late payment. And when you're less likely to have late payments, you're more likely to have perfect payment history. And when you have perfect payment history, your score is going to rise. Your score is going to be, it's going to shoot up, because payment history is 35% of your score. That's the highest determining factor of your credit score. Okay, that can account for up to 192 points. So you want to mess that category up. You want to have 100% perfect credit history. Now, if you don't have it right now because of the past, hey, we're not talking about the past. We're talking about from this day forward. You want to make sure you have perfect credit history to the best of your ability. You know what I mean? So if you're late on a payment, that's another thing too. Let me give you another nugget here. You always can reach out to the creditor, whoever it is, and a lot of times you can let them know, hey, for whatever reason, I'm running behind on my payment. And a lot of times, they'll give you, a little extension. They give you a grace period. So knowing that, that's something that you can do too, but never have late payments. Look, I would borrow, if I had to, I would borrow money to avoid a late payment on my credit report if it was me. If I had a credit card coming up and I didn't have the money to make that minimum payment, I just needed $20, I would borrow it. That's how important it is. I know who likes borrowing money. I mean, I understand. I'm just saying the importance of it. That's just how important it really is to make sure you don't have late payments. So I'm trying to get you guys to avoid having any, additional derogatory marks on your credit reports, because it's one thing, with credit restoration, it's more about us fixing your past problems, your past, delinquencies. But we want to make sure moving forward that we don't have those anymore, again, to the best of our ability. And that all trickles down. You see how that all trickled down for one thing? Not knowing your due dates is very important. That's a very common mistake. It sounds simple, but there's a lot of people that, they get these credit cards and not paying attention to the due date. They kind of just going by when they receive an email, but they really don't know the date in their head. Like, I have, how many credit cards do I have? I think I have 7 credit cards. and I know the due dates for all of them. You know what I mean? So, and I know exactly what I need to pay. And that's how you have to be with yours. Again, put them in your phone if you need to. That's worked great for me. Maybe you have another method or another system, but I know that's worked great for me. So that's number 2, is not knowing your due date, okay? So guys, make sure you know your due date. And then last big thing here, and you know what, I'm gonna give y'all a bonus too, but let's go into number 3 at least first. 3, you're thinking negative items equal bad credit. Okay, let me tell you what I mean by this. So most people value their credit score based off of how many negative items they feel like they have. So we get clients coming in with consultations and they say, well, my credit isn't too bad. I just have, about 3 or 4 accounts. Well, look, credit is more than just derogatory items. It's more than just negative items. Your credit score isn't solely based off of how many negative items you have and which negative items you have. You actually can build pretty good credit even if you have negative items on your account, if you know what you are doing. So one of the most common mistakes I see is people think that just negative items, that's all it entails in having great credit, and that's not the case. Okay, so having derogatory items does not mean you have bad credit per se, or if you don't have any negative items, that don't mean you have good credit. Okay, does that make sense? So y'all let me know if y'all can hear me, man. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Shoot a like, a wow reaction, just so I can know y'all hear me. So again, derogatory items is not the only thing that determines your credit score, because you still have to build positive credit. And you know what? I'm gonna make that number 4 a bonus. Not building positive credit. So many people think that, that they could just remove the negative items on their credit profiles and then boom, they have good credit now. No, it doesn't work like that at all. Talk to somebody. If you don't have a 720 or 750, talk to somebody that does, and I guarantee you they'll tell you about the different accounts that they built up over time, because that's what you need to do in order to have good credit. You need to also be building positive credit. What is positive credit? It's many different things. You have secure credit cards, unsecured credit cards. You got unsecured loans, secure loans. These are the type of accounts that you can build, and there's many different things within those categories. Those are just the broad categories, but those type of accounts are going to actually report to the credit bureaus, because everything doesn't report to the credit bureaus. You can have a phone bill that you've been paying on for 20 years, and excluding Experian's new system they have going on, but just normally here, I'm speaking from a typical standpoint here. Normally, things like light bills or your phone bill is not going to be reporting to the credit bureaus. So you're not building credit by paying your phone bill every month, unless you're using a credit card and then you're going back and paying it, which is something I do to get more points, but that's a whole new story. But if you're just paying it, off your debit card or out your checking account, you're not building credit. Everything doesn't report to the credit bureaus. So this is information you need to know, because you need to know what's reporting. I mean, what items report and which items don't. And this leads to this, not building positive credit. Because a lot of people think, oh, I'm paying on this. This is probably helping my credit, and it's not. You know what I mean? So you need to have items that are building positive credit. But the thing is, a catch-22, you have to have credit in order to get credit. Hope I didn't lose you on that. You have to have credit to get credit. So I understand that it's difficult sometimes, but we can help you with that. We do have accounts that you can get approved for right now. So let's just go through a recap here. Number one, not checking your credit report. That's dangerous, not knowing what's going on. You need to know what's going on. You need to check it regularly, okay? Me, I always know what's going on with my credit report, but at least monthly, you need to be looking at this thing to know what's going on. You would do the same thing with your car. If you feel like something was going on, you take it to the shop. If there's something going on in your body, you go to the doctor. Get your credit your credit report checked as well. Number two, not knowing your due dates. These type of things lead to late payments. You don't need any late payments on your credit report. I promise you, you're going to hate it. It's going to tear your score up. And then that's going to hold you back from being able to be approved for the things that you need to be approved for. Do you not want to be able to get into a home because you had some late payments because you didn't know your due dates? You weren't keeping up with it? Do you not want to be able to get into a car that you need to get to work, A and B, get to, point A to point B? No, we don't want that. Or even apartment. You can't get into an apartment complex because you wasn't aware that you still had money due on your other apartment that you moved out of, and now they put on your credit report. Now it's making you, it's difficult for you to get into the new apartment. We don't want that. So make sure you know your due dates. Put them in your phone. You have to set some type of alert so you know this information, okay? It's really simple. And you can set it up to where it repeats. I have it where it sets. I don't do this. I did it one time, and now it's perpetually set. And so you don't have to. This is not something you have to do every week or anything. Set it one time and just have it to repeat. Put that in your phone. Number three, thinking negative items equal bad credit. Not necessarily, but not having negative items don't equal good credit. Credit doesn't work like that. We have to break this mindset of thinking credit equals how many negative items I have. Oh, I got a repo, so I got bad credit. I have 5 medical collections, so I got bad credit. I'm not saying you have good credit either. I'm not saying that because I'm not looking at your credit report. But I am saying there's more to it. And that goes into knowing exactly what benefits a credit score and what doesn't. Okay, if you need help with that, let us know. You have a resource. You're listening to one right now. Don't walk around not knowing these things and needing help and not seeking the help. It's time to invest into yourself if you haven't already. This is the time. It's about to be a new year. These are the things you want to be investing in. Instead of spending money, invest your money. All right. And lastly, for the bonus, not building positive credit. Wow. That's, I would say that's much more important than not having negative items because, again, you can have negative items and still get approved for, different things depending on the rest of your credit profile. So you need to be building positive credit. If you need help with that, let us know. Set up a consultation. Okay. It's free. Order a copy of your credit reports with us and let us look at it. We've been doing this. Again, I've personally looked at hundreds of credit reports. I'm not saying that because it sounds good. These are literal numbers, facts, all right? So if you need help with, your credit, seek help. But even if not, I want to give you these common mistakes to look out for and let you make the decision from there. So let me make sure. Shakira said, makes perfect sense. In fact, I was just checking mine. That's good. I'm glad you were checking yours. Perfect. So does anybody have any questions or anything before I get off of here? I'm right at time. that I wanted to be at. But you guys, you know, if you have any questions, be sure to let us know. Don't walk around with this bad credit, man. It's time to build your credit so that way you can secure the bag. You can help you out. You can help your family out. And then your next generation, you can help out. You help your seed out. So that's what it's all about. We need to think about credit in a long-term sense. You know, it's great seeing the word approved and all, but, you know, we want to build wealth. That's what we're looking towards. You know what I mean? So unless anybody have any questions, that's it for me. Again, if you need help with your credit, you're looking to restore your credit profile, you're looking to build credit, credit repair, credit education, and Bolden Solutions is a company for you. Just set up a consultation. I'll have the link in the comments. But other than that, even if you're watching this on the replay, just let us know if you have any questions, and I'll come back over here and answer them, okay? So this has been Wise Word Wednesdays, 3 most common credit mistakes that you need to avoid. And until the next week, peace.